I have another example here. We're going to simplify and state restrictions. I'm going to go a lot quicker this time around. So if you need help in more detail, you're going to refer to the other example I did, which I'll try to attach below or at the end of the video or something. And, or actually, I don't know how to make the little link up top. Maybe I'll figure that out. And otherwise, just try to understand, and we will take care of any concerns as we go or later. Simplify and state restrictions, as I explained earlier, when we simplify any type of rational expression, you want to get it into factored form. 99% of the things you do in math from Algebra 2 and beyond require factoring, okay? And that's a bit of an embellishment with the percentage, but just pretend. So you're probably gonna have to factor. If you can factor, factor. Most of the time when you have an equation, this is not an equation, it's an expression. When you have an equation, you're going to get it equal to 0 first. Most of the time. So those two things are key. If you can do those two things, you are in better shape. If I factor this, I should get an x minus 3 and I should get an x plus 1. I could use a C method essentially, or some version of it. I could do this in my head. I can show the work. It depends on your ability level. Denominator, same thing. We factor things. You do not reduce or simplify random parts of this quadratic trinomial with this one. If I factor this quadratic trinomial, I will get x minus 4 and an x minus 3. Now with your brain, with your eyes, you're going to look at your numerator and denominator and decide, do you have any common factors from numerator to denominator? Anytime you have an assignment like this, though, keep in mind that you probably will you probably will have a common factor in your numerator and denominator. And if you don't, like we saw in the last example we just did, that does happen from time to time, but usually 4 out of 5 times, more than that, you will. I do not have another x plus 1 over here, and I do not have another x minus 4 over here, but I do have an x minus 3 both in the numerator and denominator. Whatever you end up filling in for x will give you the same number in this pink spot as this pink spot. And anytime you have a number over itself, it is 1. That is where we can simplify or reduce. It's just the 1, sayonara. So what's the final answer? The final answer is x plus 1 over x minus 4. That is the simplified expression. Looks great. However, the place where people get a little tripped up over here on these examples is the restrictions. Now we just went over how to get the restrictions. If you're not sure, don't guess. Look at your notes. Look at your notes, guys. Restrictions come from the x values that would make a factor of the denominator equal 0. You don't only look at your final answer, though. You might be only aware that you're allergic to peanuts. Maybe you have no idea that you're allergic to bee stings as well. Well, you still can't have it. You can't get stung by a bee.
Can you repeat where the restrictions come from, please?
Restrictions come from the x values that, as long as it's x in the problem, right, that would cause any factor, that's the whole parenthesis, okay? Any factor, I'll put it in parentheses, in the capital letters denominator, that's the bottom, to equal 0, ... because the denominator cannot equal 0, ... we can't divide by 0, exclamation point. Nowhere did I write that x cannot equal 0. I'm asking you like the x values that would cause any factor in the denominator to equal 0. So these are my two factors. They are different. So we will have two restrictions, two numbers that are poison for this problem. Bee stings and peanuts. What are the bee stings and peanuts for this problem? The restrictions. You want it in factored form. You cannot just pull them out of your butt by looking at that. You need to look at that. This is also not enough. You need to look at that. Denominator bottom. So how do I get those restrictions? Go ahead and you want to shout something out? I can't see who raised their hand right now.
So the restrictions are x cannot be 4 and x cannot be 3.
Yep, because x minus 4 can't be 0. Add 4, x cannot be 4. Same idea here. X minus 3 cannot be 0. Add 3, x cannot equal 3. A lot of you guys are going to get these wrong. Why? Because you're not listening and you're lazy and you don't try. And you won't look at your notes and you'll just try to guess and you're going to be like, oh, -4 and -3. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Try a little harder. And that is the end of this example. That is it. My restrictions are done. X can't be 4, x can't be 3, and my answer is done. That's it. That is everything. So what is the answer in orange? That's the simplified answer right there. And my restrictions are these guys right here. That's it. And that's all it takes. So if you think, all right, this isn't so bad, put a thumbs up. But guess what? If this is the first one you think you got, you should do another one. All right? And if you still don't get it, you should definitely do another one. So thumbs up if you got it, thumbs down if you don't.